Monster Hunter game! New Monster Hunter game? New Monster Hunter game! When? Now! Now? Well, it's September. Then why did you say now? Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, we literally have a Capcom developer livestream hitting us tomorrow for information and updates about the Monster Hunter series, and a new Monster Hunter game was just announced today! Before we get too ahead of ourselves here, this isn't 6th generation main series or main series in general actually, but it is a new spin-off game and it doesn't look half bad at all from the small amount that we've been allowed to see so far. What is this new game then? It's called Monster Hunter Now, a brand new mobile Monster Hunter experience that you can carry with you through the world. Portable gaming and Monster Hunter are no strangers to each other in the past, but this time not only is it going all the way to mobile, but it is also going to be available in the western side of the world, which really hasn't happened a whole lot for mobile Monster Hunter games before. So, what kind of game is this going to be? Well, we do have a very small amount of information, but what we do have is actually really quite exciting for me. First up, this promises to be a way to hunt monsters quote-unquote in the real world. The trailer has a Rathalos showing up and attacking in a real-world location. Obviously, that won't happen. You won't actually be in danger, and you may be wondering how this can make any sense at all. Well, the answer is actually the developer behind it. This is a project from Capcom and Niantic. If that name sounds familiar to you, but the reason why is just on the tip of your tongue, it's because Niantic is the company that made Pokemon Go. You know, that Pokemon Go. The extremely popular mobile game where you catch Pokemon in the real world by interacting with the camera on your phone and location services and all of that. But while we don't have a massive amount of information about Monster Hunter Now specifically itself, that company being involved can give us some pretty decent insight. You'll probably be able to find various monsters around your area at any given time. There will be special events with more impressive monsters. And if I had to guess based on what we've seen, rather than getting to keep the monsters after defeating them like a Pokemon game, you'll likely instead just get a bunch of parts after you've defeated them, after you've hunted them. Use these parts to upgrade your gear and make it easier to fight even more harder monsters. This does bring up a lot of interesting questions though, as Monster Hunter is inherently a very different concept to the other Niantic project that I've brought up. And in the trailer, we see what looks to be actual hunting gameplay going on here. As far as specific weapons, we see sword and shield, longsword, great sword, light bowgun, and that's it so far as the weapons go, but what we do get to see is those weapons performing actual attacks, and 5th generation updated ones at that. In theory then, as a result of that, there will be actual combat with monsters that pop up at random around you when the app is open. There should be ways to upgrade your weapons and general equipment, and there looks to be multiplayer as well, so you can walk around with a group of friends with your phones and all just break out into a Monster Hunter battle together without warning in public, which actually sounds pretty fun. According to Ryozo Tsujimoto in a blog post about the game, there will also be palicos that you can hunt with too, and his description of the game sounds quite a bit simply like Pokemon Go, but it's Monster Hunter and you're hunting things instead of catching them. Again, we don't have much information, but we did learn that they are incorporating the paintball as an item in a way that I find quite fun too. You find monsters while you're outside just walking around, but let's say that you're too busy or you're on a deadline. You can't fight them right at that moment. You can't stop and take a few minutes to get rid of that hunt right now, but you do really want to fight that monster. You do want to have that encounter, so you throw a paintball at it and then you'll track it. This lets you resume your fight with it wherever, whenever, whether it be on a train, in a car, or even at your home by yourself or with friends. You can find the monster that you paintballed while you were outside later on in the day or another day. On top of that, your Palico will automatically paintball any monsters that you walk by while you're outside, even if you aren't actively sitting there with the game open. So essentially, you gain the opportunity for more hunts and encounters simply by walking around, so that when you next check the app, you'll have these things to do. That's pretty much all of the info that we actually have so far. We don't know if there will be more weapons than the ones that we saw in the trailer. We don't know anything more about the actual gameplay than we saw, but again, it does look like actual hunting, or at least animations associated with actual hunting, and we know that you'll find monster encounters by walking around the world that can be undertaken solo with a Palico or with your friends, and you can even bank these encounters to do them at a more convenient time for yourself. We know a general release period, but not a specific date, as they've said September 2023, which is actually quite close to us right now, so that's exciting. We also know that there will be a closed beta for the game that starts a week from now on April 25th that you can sign up for on the Monster Hunter Now website currently. The beta will be locked to about 10,000 hunters, so considering the number of Monster Hunter fans that are out there in the world, you should probably put your hat in the ring sooner rather than later if you actually want to be a part of it. And that's about it, but It's exciting, isn't it? A whole new Monster Hunter game just now announced that is already coming out later this year, in 5 months nonetheless. That is so soon, and yes, while it isn't 6th gen main series or anything like that, it does look quite fun. I personally had a great time with Pokemon Go for a few months when it was first happening, and I like Monster Hunter quite a bit more than I like Pokemon, so I can see myself enjoying the hell out of this if it lives up to the quality potential that it has. And given how the trailer looks, if it is in any way actually indicative of the gameplay within the game that we'll have, I'm sure it'll be quite a good time. Again, not a big meaty new full game, but a nice fun Monster Hunter themed experience you can take with you out into the world on your phone nonetheless, and it should help tide over the wait just a little bit until the next big main Monster Hunter game. I hope you've enjoyed this little roundup of the announcement for Monster Hunter Now, even if right now it's more like Monster Hunter Soon. What are your feelings about this game? Are you excited for it like me? Is it something that you think you'll check out and you'll enjoy, or is it just a distraction from the inevitable announcement of Monster Hunter 6 that will happen at some point in the near future? Like if you like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.